Hi there, my name is Hirsch Milani. I'm a current NYU resident, and in this video I wanted to quickly show you some hacks around the CCS part of Step 3. So if you go to this website by the USMLE, you'll actually be able to access their two interactive testing experiences. They have the old one, which is their legacy one. This is for the exam that they used to have that prior to the changes that came in March 2026. And if you check out the video in the description, you'll be able to see all of those changes that I break down very quickly. In the new test, when it comes to the CCS section, there were 0 changes. And so the interface is exactly the same. However, they do have two separate links to them. So this is the link to the old one with the simulator, and here there are 6 simulations. And then they also have a link to the new one. And once again, these are just links by clicking these two buttons. The challenge is with their new simulator, if you do the cases and you hit show correct answers, it will not show you the correct answers. And I can even show you this real quickly, where it gives you the case, which is nearly identical to actually the previous case that they have on the old legacy simulator, but it will not show you the right answers. So if we come here, and what we'll do is we'll just quickly do some really bad care for this patient. And then we'll just jump ahead again. We'll continue. Case is done. Exit the case. It'll say thank you for taking care of the patient. And now whenever it's supposed to say the answers, you'll hit end block. It'll just say you've completed it, and it won't give you the answers. The thing is with the old simulator, if you do this and you hit show correct answers, very similarly you'll have, once you start the case, you have this person, respiratory distress, same kind of pneumothorax is the case. And whatever you do, all you have to do is just kind of click ahead. Okay, you'll get some negative updates. Hit done. And then whenever you hit exit the case here, this simulator still does show you the correct answers. So if you hit end block, then hit next block, this is the feedback. The issue everyone has with these simulators, it's very different than typically the NBME or the USMLEs, where you do these resources last. Frankly, these are some of the first resources you should do, or you should just not do them at all, because all it gives you is this written write-up of, okay, the ideal approach would have had this, then things that would have lowered your scores would have this, and then some of these things you could have ordered, but it wouldn't really matter. And so I actually built just a little framework around this. And by going through the 6 simulations that they have, and the rules of thumb that you should always remember is you always want to start with the physical exam. And what you'll realize is the physical exam and the time is typically the thing that is kind of contradicting each other. For example, if there's an urgent case, you want to do a targeted physical exam. If someone's in the office looking stable, then you want to do a complete physical exam. And so and that the time is scored is really, really important, because if you don't move quickly or you try to do a full physical exam on someone that has a pneumo, you'll start to lose points because you'll get negative updates. Number 2 is stabilize, diagnose, and manage. Here what you want to do is, whenever you do this, it's really important to, as soon as you have the chief complaint, if they look uncomfortable, if you think you need cardiac monitoring, all of these orders should go in first. And I have actually a bunch of case simulations that I've done with our StudyCCS cases, which are nearly identical to all of the USMLE cases, where we go through exactly what you should be ordering at what point. So what are the stabilizing orders in terms of morphine, in terms of oxygen, in terms of access? Then, if you go to our framework, you want to try to diagnose. This is when you're ordering the CBC, CMP. If they're having chest pain, you'll get an EKG, troponins, you'll get a chest x-ray. And then you want to go into management. So once you have the diagnosis, if they have a PE, if they have a pneumothorax, if they have just GERD, then you want to give them the medications. And then the last step is closing the loop, and we'll get there. But really, really important to think of it as stabilize, diagnose, manage. Then it's really important that if you look at the write-up that they have here, it's not only that they want you to order the right drug, it's important to make sure that you're giving it the right way. So for example, in some situations, you would give IV beta blockers or IV benzos, whereas other cases you would give oral. And so it's really important to not only think about what the diagnosis is, but also the correct meds. And I think that's why it's so important whenever you're doing your practice cases on StudyCCS, you're thinking about this, because this is the best way you get your reps and you get really good at exactly what orders you need to put in and when. Then the skip the invasive trap. This is really, really dangerous because so many people lose points because they start doing really invasive procedures because they think the patient's sicker than they are. They want to intubate. They want to maybe do a CAT scan whenever all you need is an abdominal x-ray. All of these things are really, really important. And the only way you can view this properly is to actually think about how sick is this patient. If a patient is really sick, I recommend actually erring on the side of more invasive procedures, especially if you're getting negative updates. If they keep saying, oh, patient's getting worse, that is a sign that you need to step up the invasive procedures, the tests that you want to do. Whereas if the patient is pretty stable or you're not getting these negative updates, I would really skip these invasive tests because that's where you can lose a lot of points. And then close the loop is really important in the sense that if someone has DKA, you want to make sure that not only are you treating it then, but you're also triaging them appropriately. So you're transferring them to the ICU. So for example, if you're doing a case here with a STEMI, obviously it's pretty easy for you to know that and you can do that. But if this was a DKA case, you want to make sure you go to change location and you send them to the ICU. Really, really, really important. And then other things that come with closing the loop is, are there any tests that you have to repeat? For example, if you put in a chest tube, and you ordered a chest x-ray before, you should order a chest x-ray after. Or counseling family. If someone is having lung cancer or if they're having various concerns, you want to make sure that you're instructing them, you're advising them. If they're having pelvic inflammatory disease, you want to advise them around safe sex. All of these things are really important, and that's how you maximize your score. And so this is a big picture framework of how you should approach USMLE Step 3 CCS cases. And if you really want to get reps, I recommend just cranking out all of the cases at StudyCCS. But if you want to just see word for word what the USMLE says, make sure that you'd use the old interactive testing experience, not the new one, because the new one does not have answers. And so if you just want to read what they have written, you can actually read it whenever you use the old simulator.